Today we're going to replace those dim, dark, yellow factory incandescent bulbs with brighter, whiter, quality LED bulbs. Find out which ones we recommend and how quick and easy it is to replace yours on Let's Talk Tech today. Hi everyone, Mike here. We previously posted a how-to video showing step-by-step how to easily convert and replace your factory incandescent bulbs to LED bulbs in our Subaru Crosstrek. Today we're going to show you how to do it in our 2023 Subaru Ascent. The biggest complaint we read on different forum groups is how dim and dark the cargo areas can be in most Subaru vehicles. We really wish Subaru would stop trying to sell an expensive upgrade to LED bulbs and just include them with all new vehicles. We must applaud them for including LED headlights as standard for many models and trim levels. First, we recommend to turn off the light. Then you just need to open the light housing using a plastic pry tool. Once it is released, just pull it out towards the front of the vehicle and rotate it slightly to expose the bulb. If your light has been on for an extended period of time, the bulb will be hot and it is recommended to either wait a few minutes for it to cool down or use a tissue to avoid burning your fingers. All the interior bulbs in the Ascent are a socket type 194. Just as we showed in our Crosstrek video, we are going to install a piece of mirrored permanent vinyl in order to reflect all illumination towards the cargo area. The approximate size of this vinyl sticker is 1 1/4 by 2.5 inches. Trying to align the sticker can be a little tricky, but after a couple of tries you find where it needs to be fit. I do recommend using the plastic pry tool to smooth out the sticker to make sure that it is fully adhered to the plastic. Once that is complete, all you need to do is reinsert the light fixture in reverse order and turn the switch on prior to pressing it in just to verify that the bulb is working properly. Next, we will install the 6 overhead lights, beginning with the back row. All you need to do is insert a plastic trim removal tool between the lens and the light housing at the marked arrows. All points to release are towards the front of the vehicle on each of the lenses for the middle and the back row. Be careful not to drop the lens to avoid breaking any of the plastic tabs. Now all you need to do is pull the bulb straight down and put the new LED bulb in its place. As you can see, the new bulb is much whiter and brighter than the original incandescent bulbs. Now, an up-close view to see pulling the original bulb downward and reinserting the new bulb into its place. To reinsert the lens, pay attention to the side that has the 2 parts that snap into a post up in the light housing, as marked by the arrows. The other end has a hook that gets inserted into the recess of the light fixture. Once that's done, press on the 2 points where the posts are to secure the lens in place. I will now repeat the process on the driver's side of the back row. It's important to note that you may have to use a little bit of force to insert the pry tool between the lens and the light fixture. Don't be too afraid, but also don't be overly aggressive. Another reminder is if the bulb was previously turned on like I had, it will be hot and you may need to use a tissue to grab the bulb to remove it. When replacing the LED bulb, press it straight up into the socket to make sure that it is seated properly. Before replacing the lens cover, I also recommend testing the bulb first. We'll now work on replacing the bulb in the middle row on the driver's side. If you experience any difficulty inserting the tool after you've pried one side, you can always move the tool around to the back of the cover towards the front of the vehicle to pry the lens out. You will discover as you remove each lens that the process becomes a little bit easier each time. The two map light lenses are a little bit more difficult to remove because their design is different from the four lens covers in the middle and the rear. I found it easier to use the wider flat pry tool than the narrow angled one that I use to remove the rear lenses. The design of the map light lenses is different from the lenses in the rear of the vehicle. They do not attach to the light housing on posts. Instead, there are four hooks that attach the lens firmly to the light housing, with two on each side of the lens. I highly recommend testing these bulbs before reinstalling the lens. Press firmly on the lens where the four tabs are located to make sure that it is properly seated. A quick comparison of the old versus the new bulb. Now we repeat the process on the driver's side, removing the lens from the left side. There are also two lights located at the bottom of the front driver and passenger doors. These two lights use the same Type 194 bulb. By purchasing the 10-pack of these bulbs, you will have 3 remaining after installing the other 7 interior lights. I wasn't able to figure a way to turn off all the interior lights with the door open, so this bulb will be hot. Use caution when removing it. The process is the same with the front passenger door. Just place the pry removal tool on the light lens closest to the door hinges. We did not replace the 2 rear doors as we do not use them too often, and the 10-pack that we purchased would have been short 1 bulb. In order to replace the rear doors, an additional 10-pack or a 2-pack of bulbs will be necessary to replace all bulbs. To replace the backup bulbs, grab the top of the black trim piece and pull it directly toward you. You will hear a popping sound as the 2 clips that are marked up above, and there's a slot at the bottom that holds the bottom of the trim piece. Use a 10mm socket instead of a Phillips head to remove the 2 bolts holding the lens in place. Try to remember where you left your socket, as 10mm seem to always disappear when working on vehicles. To remove the lens, grasp it the way that I am and pull it directly toward you. There are 2 foam gaskets on the back behind the bolts that may cause it to stick a little bit. Turn the light socket 45 degrees counterclockwise to remove it from the lens. Even though a Type 194 bulb will fit into a 921 socket, it is not recommended to use them as they produce much less lumens. Reinsert the socket into the lens, making sure to twist fully so that the gasket forms a good seal to keep moisture out. The lens gets held to the vehicle at the 3 arrows indicated. Be sure to have the lens close to the vehicle before firmly pushing it towards the front. You should hear a clicking sound as the one tab locks into place. Don't over-tighten the bolt so you don't crack the lens. As we do the driver's side of the lens, I will show better representation of the way that the lens is held into place to the vehicle. I did find it more difficult to reinsert the bulb on the driver's side. The wires seem to be a little shorter for some reason than the passenger side. Turn the socket clockwise about 45 degrees, again to make sure that the gasket is properly seated. The lens is held to the vehicle, indicated by the orange arrows, with 2 slotted channels to fit around the 2 plastic tabs. The blue arrows indicate the push pin that snaps into place and is the clicking sound you will hear when you firmly press it into place. The trim piece is held in by placing the tab indicated by the blue arrows into the bumper and then firmly pressing the area indicated by the orange arrows. We made this video for the Ascent after we received a lot of positive feedback for the cross-track video that we posted a few months ago. One nice thing about the Ascent is all the lights use the same Type 194 bulb, except for the visor mirrors. We chose to not replace those, but we have ones that we would recommend in the video description. If you were to purchase these bulbs at a Subaru dealership, they would charge you over $200 for them, and it would only include the 6 overhead bulbs. As you saw, it is very easy to replace the interior lights yourself. You can replace all of them for $35, including the trim removal tool. We mentioned in the cross-track video that the backup cameras in Subarus are not the best in comparison to other makes and models. We highly recommend replacing the backup bulbs, which will increase the illumination to give you the best picture quality in the evenings, and it would also let people know during the day that you are backing up. We thank you for watching today, and we would really appreciate it if you would subscribe and like this video, as we have a lot more content coming soon. Again, thank you and have a fantastic day.